So, it was December, and the 6th of January, we were working all over Christmas time, New Year. I wrote the first article, and that article was making a whole new term. And I was thinking, like, how are we going to call the intersection between DeFi and AI? And to me, I've been building for many, many years. I've built 3 unicorns in DeFi previously. And I was really considering how agents are going to impact decentralized finance. And to me, it was pretty obvious that eventually we don't really need another way to call DeFi. So as an Italian, my accent sucks a little bit, but I said, to me, it's DeFi. So it's just the evolution on what is going to be, because eventually agents are going to be able to manage everything into these decentralized finance protocols. And I'm all up for it. So in this article that was on the front page of Twitter and was seen millions of times, I basically outlined what Def AI, or this intersection, is going to look like, and what agents can do in decentralized finance. As a longtime builder there, I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, so what kind of technology do we have right now? And what can this technology enable on a true on-chain level? And first of all, I said, okay, maybe it can make very simple things that for some people are not so simple. Like, for example, when you connect your MetaMask, you need to do a lot of clicking on UIs. You don't feel safe. I don't know how your experience on bridging has been, but me and my team, we bridged billions of dollars over the last 5 years. And every time, still now, till, of course, I built an application for it, I'm always scared about moving like over $1 million, moving around between Solana, or moving it from Avalanche, aping something, some shit or whatever. And I'm always there, and I'm not sure. I look at the link, and I'm like, is it that link? And I have it freaking bookmarked, guys. Like, I know that it's there. It's Target. It's always the same link, and I'm always scared about it, no matter what. And every week, someone in my comments, when I do something, I got my wallet drained, right? How many times have you heard this? Oh, I connected my NFT here and I got tracked. I don't have any more money here. So I was thinking, okay, so AI can help you in that, can make sure that everything you're doing is safe, it's deterministic, and it always goes through the right path. So this is the first application of DeFi, making the UI easier and safer for anyone to do. And this is what we developed first with Hey Anon. And we said, okay, you can connect your MetaMask and use a human-like prompt and say, okay, why don't you bridge my Ethereum from it to Base? And you just say the quantity, and it works with your own non-custodial wallet. And that was the first thing that came to my mind. Let's simplify interactions on chain where user already exists. And let's make it so safe for this non-custodial wallet to use the right path, deterministic path, to be able to do all of these complex actions. So for many, it's not complex, but it does give you that level of safety, feeling better. And with that, I created a second article that was about the Automate framework. And I outlined how a framework for decentralized finance and AI would work. Because obviously, right now, we are talking about asking AI to do a complex on-chain transaction for you. And there is a certain level of trust that you would want to avoid. And a lot of the conversation, the pullback that I had at the time, was about what they call hallucination in RAG agents. So they were like, okay, but what if the agent hallucinates, and instead of me clicking the wrong website or whatever, is just sending it to Daniele, to me, all my money, and then Dan is going to rug you all, right? Like, and in that sense, I was like, okay, we need to figure this out. How do we figure this out? Well, we need to use strict tooling. So the Automate framework is the first DeFi framework that allows of open source a strict path to be looked by anybody, is in our GitHub. So you don't need to trust us on how we are executing your transactions, but actually you can go and see it by yourself. Of course, nobody's going to do it. I don't know a single person that went to verify one of our GitHub repos. But obviously, in a future in which you think that the agents are becoming more and more autonomous, eventually, in a possible future, what is going to happen is that they're going to verify it for you. Maybe they are going to use our framework for you because it's there and is readily available. So now we post about this, and currently we have integrated pretty much every single action in decentralized finance that you can imagine of. And what this allowed us also to do is basically to be the first DeFi agents that is capable of doing very, very complex shit, right? And for complex shit, nobody uses it like that. I do it because we need to test it, but it's coming to the strategies after that I can talk about. But you can say like, okay, take 20% of my ETH and then bridge, swap that into Sol on Solana, and then create a Meteora pool with that, buying 50% of that TEET coin that I like, and make an LP with that is ranging in between this price range and this other price range, and then take it off because you sold all your position as soon as it hits after the range that you placed. So this is pretty degen shit. But to be able to make agents that are future-proof, you need to really consider on any use case. Because every day some of my degen friends ask me like, can I do this with Hey Anon, trying to flex on me like that, you're not going to be able to do it? And I'm like, yeah, have you tried to write this on? And they're like, oh, that's so cool. So now these strict and deterministic paths allow us to basically do any action in any order. And every other agent out there that tries to do this is a single action purpose agent. Hey Anon is the only agent that is multi-purpose. So now, going back to the first article, I went in and I said, okay, so the first thing is like, I have my wallet, I connect my wallet to a ChatGPT style interface, I ask what to do, I bridge, it does everything, I use my Phantom wallet, whatever, and it does it for me. As I mentioned right now, the second thing is like, what if we give autonomy to a wallet to do all of this while I'm sleeping? And now the interesting thing is, obviously, when you connect your own wallet and you have a conversational UI, you're doing everything in real time. But the actual use case for agentic AI, in my opinion, is doing things in the future. So not only autonomously does it, but obviously when you do a prompt that has multiple actions to do, assumes that the first action is instant, but the other actions are in the future, because it's conditional to the first action to be done. And then with the Automate framework, we created a whole new way to think about data streams, which in my opinion is the most interesting part of agentic AI, in which you use data streams to create new conditions for things to happen in the future. And with this, we unlocked, for example, limit orders, DCAs, conditional to price, conditional to volatility, conditional to tweets even. Like, let's say that Donald Trump is saying that he's going to attack Iran, sell all my shitters right now, right? And you might be the first one to do it because you had it right there into your agent wallet. And with this, obviously, it has been a dream always to recreate this, what I call the super app of crypto, the app that I can use any day, and I can just talk with it or text with it or save some prompts and automate everything. And this is what we are doing with the Hey Anon. Now, all of this data stream also become an aggregation of interesting facts. So the third thing that I outlined in the first article was, what are we gonna do with a research agent? So right now, even if you ask the best model out there, unless you are very specific in quoting which sources you want, etc., for doing any sort of research in crypto, they don't know anything. Like if you ask ChatGPT what was the inflow, for example, on the ETFs of BTC and Ethereum for last week, doesn't know. Like, it's going to try, scramble to search an answer because that's how they work, but it's very unlikely to give you a proper answer. On the other hand, we have partnered with all the best data sources around, for example, Messari, Kaito, Cookie even, that was on stage here, and we aggregate all this data and we feed it to Gemma. Gemma is basically your research assistant. And these three, for me, were the pillar of what actually DeFi and AI mean. So we have the abstraction of the traditional interactions through a basic chat-based UI, and we have that, which you use connecting your existing wallet. You have the agentic AI wallet, which is capable of doing things now and in the future, and you have the research assistant that is capable of giving you the information that you want in real time, and that all connects into one ecosystem, and it has sparked a lot of innovation around the science, that article, and it makes me super proud to be on a stage that writes that name, right? And see all these builders that are doing fantastic things. Now, what does the future look like? So now, this is, I have added some demos of how Hey Anon looks like, but obviously you can already use it. It's completely free. You can register in heyanon.ai. It's traditional ChatGPT style. It does create your own wallet. You can use it to connect your existing wallet. You see, this is a demo of it. Here you can also add your own wallet to it, if you want, if you have your private key and you want to automate this. You can request, for example, a DCA. This is something that is not so easy. Why do you need to freaking pay Jupiter, guys? Stop doing that. Don't give these guys the fees. Just DCA with Hey Anon. It's much better. It's completely free. It works on any chain. You want to DCA on Base, you DCA on Base. You want to DCA on Avalanche, you want to DCA on whatever. It does have also centralized exchanges connection, so you can DCA at the same time, the same coin on Avalanche and on Binance. Here, a demonstration. You can try it all by yourself, obviously. And I recommend to do it. This is why I come to this conference. Download it. Actually, just go to the website. And then, as I was developing this, I started to think about the future. What is the future of decentralized finance and AI? And obviously, I had a lot of time to think about it, because I spent all the time working, guys. I'm like 24 hours, basically. If I could not sleep, I wouldn't. And I started to think about a brand new idea that was coming out, and Windsurf was pioneering it. It's a code editor, if you know. It's like a cursor code editor. And in that very beautiful application, I saw something new, and this something new was called AI Flow by them. What is AI Flow? And now it's getting popular and popular, more and more. But AI Flow, it's a very cool concept. It's like, okay, we have agentic AI, which in my opinion, at the moment is becoming like the past pretty much, or the present. It's something that already exists, is among us. But how does the future look like is human-AI interactions contextualized wherever you are. So, and I started to think, okay, so how do we bring these concepts inside of crypto? And where does this make sense? And obviously, for every company that I build, I always try to find a product market fit. And you guys see that this market, I don't know for how long you guys have been in crypto, but this market has been very different than the past. And it's a very trader-oriented market. They say there is plenty of JITs. I believe so. But this is just what it is, right? Is the trading mentality, is the rotation mentality. And things that, in my opinion, 5 years ago would not even make sense, like Photon, for example, Axiom, are stacking fees like crazy. And you're like, how is that possible? If they told me in 2021 that I had to pay 1% to swap anything just to use something like the X screener, I would be like, F you, right? I'm not going to use that. But everybody does now. So I thought about it, and I'm like, OK, what I thought to my team, and I say, let's do this experiment. What if we bring AI in every trading interface that people is already using? And this is where HUD comes. So here is an example. It's already in alpha on the Chrome store. But here is an example of HUD overlaying Hyperliquid. Just being a Chrome extension, it does a lot of cool stuff. Did you know that AI is better than me to do technical analysis? That's definitely much better. And it's much better than any of my friends. And also, it's very good in reading on-chain data as it happens and give you a contextualization of flows. And I've been trading meme coins to build this. And I wasn't a meme coin trader, but I turned $1,000 in $1 million just while I was building this. Because I was like, I have no edge. I want an edge. This is the only casino, the meme coin one, in which I can figure out an edge. It's the only one. Because everything is on chain. You can't fucking escape me if I know what to look for. And I know you're going to dump on me. Or I know where you bought. I know how much P&L, for example, you're used to sell for. Or I know where you set your limit orders. Because everything is historically there. And if you are a fresh wallet, I will treat you differently. And I will be even more interesting on tracking what you're doing, because maybe you're an insider, right? And we're going to get into that. But in this example here, you can see HUD Manager adding indicators onto Ethereum autonomously. All the indicators are done here. Then you can request it to do technical analysis for you. You can request it to do strategies for you. For example, like me, I suck. I always buy the top, guys. Like, there is no, like, I don't know why. It's always, I'm the top signal. But since I started using my own product, I'm not the top signal anymore. I'm just not buying because it keeps telling me that it's going down. Like, and the problem is that a lot of people do that. They have no guidance. They're just waiting for the next KOL to dump on them, mid-thread on the technical analysis that they have done. You should buy here while they're dumping on you, bro. Like, this is the reality. AI has absolute no interest to tell you anything that it's not specifically mathematical. If there is patterns that need to see, this is technical analysis. I don't say I need to believe it, but it's helpful for a lot of people. And we are giving them the tools to do it autonomously. Now here, it's another example, is on the most famous, obviously, trading interface in the world, which is TradingView. You might recognize this. TradingView started following me on Twitter after I posted this. But the idea is that we can go beyond from crypto. We can go beyond crypto itself. But obviously, here we are showing it on Ethereum. But it works perfectly on any trading interface that has TradingView. And it does everything autonomously. And to me, this is really the future and how it looks like. Because before we talked about executing, now we are starting to talk about figuring out what to execute. And this is where I want AI to be. And this is what we strive to do. Here you can see our HUD on Axiom. We discussed before about on-chain data. Here you can see clearly that we have all of these lines These lines are actually weighted averages of different things that are different holders that are changing in real time. And here we are showing tracked wallets in real time. I decided to add the top 10, top 25, and KOL buyers and new KOLs that we are tracking. So you see if those KOLs are dumping on you. And here in real time, you see everything that they have been doing. You can see even where they are rotating. This is completely free, guys, to use. If you don't use it, you're losing money. This is a reality. Everybody that has been using it, I haven't seen them actually losing trades just because they don't enter stupid trades. If you see the insiders are fully loaded at the beginning and they're basically, there is a lot of things into Solana meme coins that are not tracked by these platforms. And by seeing things visually, you can have your own ideas of what is happening in the chart. And you should definitely, 100%, use it. So you got no excuse. Thank you. Use Hey Anon, and let me know. You guys have any questions? Thank you. Want to make any questions? Yeah? You have the microphone? Yeah, go for it. Come.
Hi, thanks. I swear I was listening carefully, but I'm not sure I understand what you mean when you say that AI would be more deterministic, because, LLMs at least are the opposite of deterministic to me.
I mentioned specifically on on-chain interaction.
On
on-chain interaction, it needs to be deterministic in the way that it interacts with smart contracts. I don't want any other way to interact with smart contracts, then it's not deterministic. Because there is no potential, in my opinion, there should be any way in which it can hallucinate the way that it interacts in very complex smart contracts interaction. So this is why we did this basically deterministic framework on how to interact with Aave, how to interact with this, because it's also much easier for an auditor to go and check it out. If you are talking with institutions, for example, and we are talking about adding an AI agent into multi-sign, you need to have a certain degree of compliance. And that degree is given by deterministic nature in how it's interacting with certain protocols. This is the reason. Yeah.
Okay, probably need to check it out. If I may, second question quickly. As a general rule, as we go towards AI becoming more and more autonomous, don't you think that we'll start seeing some kind of very chaotic behavior market-wise, because essentially everybody would be feeding on the same signals, piped to the same models, generating the same kind of strategies. So it sounds effectively very chaotic, like lots of emergent properties arising.
So this is why I focus so much on presenting data through AI rather than give you the answer. Okay? So I don't want to give you the answer. I want to represent the data in a way that you can find your own answer. This has been how I structure HUD, because I have my own signaling, okay? And I did it for myself to find new coins. And I've demonstrated it on streams, and we found every week 100x, this and that. But obviously, if I give it to everyone, it's not going to work the same way, because I'm tampering with my own data, right? But if we go back to this is purely a representation of what is happening in the chart in real time, but it doesn't tell you, as you can see, you need to buy or you need to sell, okay? It tells you this is what is happening. You can on and off manage these lines. You can manage who you want to track, who is important for you. And based on that, you can take your decision on what you want to do, okay? TA, on the other hand, it's already a self-fulfilling prophecy type of thing. And this is why it's good. Because if everybody sees the same thing, and it already does, like Fibonacci is nothing else than what you see as a pattern. That's all. Like it's the magic numbers, you know? Like it's nothing very strange. It's just that when you look at the chart or when you look at anything around you, automatically, by nature, you tend to see certain areas more interesting than others. Like, but there is, well, I mean, there is my friend market maker here that can tell me for 6 hours why Fibonacci is not just that. But for me, that I'm a TA idiot, to me, that is what I see. And just adding a little bit more context, as you saw before here, and helping out what market makers actually do, it's interesting because market makers, look at that, right? And actually, this is a new thing, but that we are building, and we will present it in Cannes. We are doing Glassbox. That through all of this technology and the automation that we have with the AI, we are making the first market maker that is AI-based, that any project can take and is going to be able to do centralized exchanges, spreads on order books, and do all this kind of stuff. And you will be able to say to your own, AI is capable of saying like, okay, there is a very strong support here, but the market of Solana is strong too. It has an uptrend, so it's going to compact that order book in that supporting your token holders actively as a market maker, not like Wintermute dumping on you at the opposite, on support. Like that's when they love to just start selling. Instead, with Glassbox, we want to try to give to the people the tools to actually support their own freaking chart. Like everybody just wants one thing, up only. Obviously, it's not possible, but at the end of the day, we can help that. At least as a market maker, that should be what they are there for, right? And with the HUD, if you a new feature that is coming together with Glassbox is to understand also for a token holder where would be a good area to support buying, for example, to help create something, right? So the community with AI becomes the market maker. And Glassbox support the community on becoming that, also with the liquidity injected from the project. So all of these is basically how I see this AI-human interaction happening. And as HUD develops, as Hey Anon develops furthermore, they become one single entity. And this one single entity is basically what you expect AI to be. Where you are, being able to do anything you want, and actually helping you in crypto with your projects and helping you be a supporter of your projects, right? So, yeah.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Well, thank you, everyone. It's such a cool thing to see all of you coming to hear about AI and DeFi. This is a very small sector, but believe me, it's not going to be in the next 2 years. It's going to be the largest one you have ever seen. Thank you.